Hi there, this is Carol Matthews, and welcome to my podcast. I'm going to share with you the frequently asked questions that I have received over the years from my clients, my friends, my listeners to my radio shows, etc. So join me. The answers are very interesting.
Welcome to the Carol Matthews Intuitive Medium Podcast. Now, here's Carol.
One of the questions is, does it ever feel scary or like a burden to be able to have this communication with others from the other side? And I say, not scary, not a burden. I consider it a gift. Now, I'm going to tell you, it can get a little bit overbearing, overwhelming sometimes, but I'm learning as I go along to pace myself. Sometimes I don't, sometimes I do. It's a day by day thing. That's all I can tell you. It's a day by day thing. So, what is a medium? That's a question I'm often asked. What is a medium? What is a psychic? Are all psychics mediums and are all mediums psychics? No, not all psychics are mediums and not all mediums are psychics. Okay. I happen to be both, which I don't mind at all. I really don't mind. And I've been asked, when did you first realize that you had this gift? Well, I would say when I was 3 years old, but 6 years old sounds a little bit more believable, right? So things happen. Is this an inherited gift? Well, my father was a psychic. My father was psychic. He didn't practice it. I know it tore him apart, and I understand now. It tore him apart because he saw so many things going on in his life that he just could not be in control of. And, back when I was younger, when all this was going on, 10, 12 years old, with my dad talking, it was like he just didn't know how to get it out there. And I know it bothered him. It bothered him a lot. My grandmother on my mother's side, she read tea leaves. Which interesting. She read tea leaves. And I would say to her sometimes, how did you know that? And she'd say, a little birdie told me. Well, now I understand. Takes a time, but now I understand what she meant, because quite often when I'm with people, when I'm doing a reading, I will be thinking, Carol will be thinking something, and then I hear something, and that is a psychic medium or intuitive medium coming in, and I share those messages with the people that are around me. And I do. I'm very grateful that I have this gift. Again, it can be overwhelming, and don't ever let anybody tell you it can't be. It isn't. And because you're human, you're human. And can I turn it off? There's another question. Can I turn it off? Well, there's no such word as can't in my mind. I do my best. I stay away from big crowds because I know. And actually today, as I'm doing this, it's a day where there's a whole lot of shopping going on. So guess what? I don't go to the malls at this time. You have to sort of gauge it and figure out what you're going to do. Okay. Another question is, when people come to see you, what are the types of questions they have or the types of messages they receive by way of me, from the other side? Well, I'm being an intuitive medium, a psychic medium, intuitive medium, and having the gift of being able to connect with the other side. And don't ask me how I connect with the other side, because I have no idea. I just know that they are there, and I get up in the morning and I say, okay, what's going on today? And that's the way that it happens, right? Now, I don't do, I don't do lotteries. Don't even go there. Don't ever ask me for your lucky numbers. I don't do lotteries. Anybody can do lotteries. I'm more in tuned, and actually, that's a good word. I am more in tuned with people from the other side. And also, I do telephone readings and Skype readings, and I never ever thought that I could. I never thought I could do this by way of the radio, but I can. So don't ask me how. Don't ask me how. I'm a skeptic too, I have to, I'm from Missouri, I have to be shown. I'm not really from Missouri, I'm from Winnipeg, but I have to be shown. And so I just don't go barreling along and say, oh yeah, this is what's happening and that's happening. But to get back to the question of what type of questions do people get, what type of messages? Closure is not a good word, but in this case, it's a good word, okay? Closure is, the people know, my clients know that their guardian angels, and that's what I call people that have passed away, that their guardian angels are with them And how do they know that? I say to them, I cannot prove it. But because they give me names, they don't give me initials, they give me names, they give me instances. In my belief, and I've lost many people, I have many guardian angels around me. So I speak from experience. So if they couldn't give me these messages, that's my way of gauging that they're okay. If they couldn't give me the messages, then perhaps they're not okay. But then in the other part of the world over there, what's okay? So that might sound like a really crazy statement there, but when I talk with a client, whether it's on the phone or Skype or in person, and I all of a sudden say, "Who's Joe?" I'm just giving examples. And they say, "That's my father." And then if I say, "Who's Margaret?" And they say, "Well, that's my mother." Okay, now your guardian angels are with me before I even call you. We're talking phone now, or Skype. They're with me. I've already started writing these things down. So my belief is that they have contacted me. Your guardian angels have contacted me before you even arrive or even phone me. Okay. So, and again, I don't know how. I don't know how. People ask me, and I don't know. There are some people that use great, big, 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 long words. I don't use big words. I keep it simple. But I do believe that it's so important to know or to feel and believe that our guardian angels, our people that have passed away, are okay, and they want us to be happy. And that is the one of the biggest messages that I give people. Now, I mean, I don't just say, anybody can say to you, your guardian angel, your passed on person is happy. Well, everybody can tell you that. What they do with me is they give me instances, and those instances to me are very, very important. And you know what? They're very important to my clients. So I believe it's a confirmation. And I just do what I'm supposed to do. And a little birdie tells me that's the bottom line. That's the best way to tell you. A little birdie tells me. And so sometimes, as I said, this can get a bit overwhelming because, I deal with, it's not just all romance, I deal with a lot of different stuff, and learning to pace yourself and to believe is really, really important. It's very important. And, being an empath, and many of us are an empath, we take on a lot of other stuff, and we need to be very, very aware. Right now, there's so much going on out there in the world. I call it the 11 o'clock news. And that can get very overwhelming. And I will tell you, that's when I feel overwhelmed because I start to take it all on. And I don't try, I don't think about it, but that's what happens. And so you have to sort of sit down and say, okay, put on a funny movie or just don't talk. Some days I will go with not even talking because it's the only way to recharge. And recharging is very, very important. Very important. There's a question that I have that I've got some questions here and I'm sort of reading them. One of them, somebody said, sometimes when I'm feeling upset, a warm, calming feeling comes over me and I could smell the aftershave that my father used to wear. Could this be him making me know that he is with me? I believe yes. And so much of what I say comes from my own personal life of having, I don't like to use the word losing, but losing mother, father, of course. I'm of the age where mom and dad should be passed away. Grandparents, of course. A nephew, 4 sisters, very, very good friends, longtime friends. So I believe that they are sending me signs. And some of the signs can be dimes. So I have so many dime stories. It's amazing. Used to be pennies from heaven, remember? But I have dime stories, sending me dimes, 3 o'clock in the morning, waking up for no reason. No, I don't have to go to the washroom, and voices. I mean, I'm okay. I really am okay, guys. But voices, I hear voices and something will say something to me and I will wake up. I'll hear a voice. I'll hear my name called and I will wake up and I sit up and I say, okay, what's going on? And when you wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, I always say to my clients, and I do the same thing, get up and go to the washroom. You're awake anyway. And thank your guardian angels for being around you. You don't have to know who it is. Just know that there's somebody there. So I have so many different questions that I'm going to be sharing with you on future podcasts, but I wanted to get this one off today. Again, there's a lot going on out there, and I'm doing this right now today. January the 29th. So we all know what's going on. We know what's been happening in the last week. So do your very, very best to recharge. All right. It's winter, but get to the water. Like even ice is water. All right. Just recharge. It is so, so important. So I'm just going to close this one off, and then I'm going to be getting some more going for you. Okay, I thank you so much for your attention.
Thanks for listening. To book a personal consultation with Carol, email her at coasttocoastmedium@gmail.com. Remember to like and subscribe for future episodes.